Hey guys, it's Ronnie at the Tech Zone 10101. And today I'm gonna be teaching you or giving you tips of how to protect yourself against electronic radiation given off by desktops, computers, laptops, tablets, mobile phones, cell phones, mouses, and whatever else. So, keyboard and mouses, and maybe routers, monitors, and yeah, speakers. So, let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna say is use a desktop instead of a laptop. So, here is my custom built PC. I know that doesn't look so good, but now I'm gonna open an app called EMF sensor for my phone. I know that's not going to do very accurate, but at least for a comparison, I don't think I need a real EMF meter, but that's going to do very accurate stuff, and this is just for comparison. So, now when a natural environment use, you'll find about 400 to 500 milligrams or whatever you call it. Milligauss, I think. Yes, milligauss. And when I put it on top of a computer to see what happens, that senses the radiation, and it goes up to about 1,000 milligauss of radiation, which is a unit to measure that. So, see what happens when I open a laptop and measure that. This is MacBook Air with no batteries inside. It has a battery, but it may not power on because there's no power in there. So yeah, let's measure that. Oh my god. You see? That's going up to 5,000 on a MacBook Air. So, that's why I tell you to use a desktop. Stop that. That's really noisy. So that's why I'm telling you to use a desktop instead of laptop. That's point number one. And next thing is maybe to use a radiation filters for your monitors, because your monitors give out radiation a lot for LCDs and those who use older computers, which is CRT monitors. So sticking a radiation filter on them may be effective. But for me, for an LED monitor, that gives out a lot less radiation compared to a CRT monitor. Up to 3 to 4 times radiation less. But before I planned about that, using a radiation filter requires a few things, which is you can't have any metal stuff besides, near the radiation filter, because how that works is, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see that now from internet photo. Here's the radiation filter, and what that does is the radiation generated here from the monitor, here's the radiation filter, and it just reflects radiation away from that to the sides, the back, maybe back top, and left, right side, bottom, whatever. And how about if it reflected to metal substances? That is what will become even worse. I have a USB hub, card reader, a metal fan, electricity supply, a hard drive, all that kind of stuff. And if they reflect to all that kind of stuff, and they will just reflect back to me. And that will be even worse, because that's, at least I want to say, that's stronger than what is given off by your computer itself. So the third thing is here. Look what's behind my monitor. I have some plants, 2 cactus. So what Cactus does is actually they produce some bacteria in order to suck up radiation, or maybe to protect your suck up maybe or prevent them from happening, even from the monitor itself. So a really good plants, you place 2 of them there, and that would help quite a little bit. At least you can place more if you want, and that would help much more. So I got 2 cactuses. Many people don't know that cactus help in protecting radiation, protecting you, I mean. And this was actually discovered by NASA, and this species of cactus is okay of sucking up. And this is traditional pots of cactus, which also helps, but they're much bigger and they require more space. Up to you. You just have to place them behind a monitor or behind a printer in order to suck up radiation, because that's actually the place that your monitor or printer produces the most radiation. Yeah. The next thing is, of course, wireless to wired. So I use a wireless keyboard because my connectors doesn't reach my computer, which is, it has to go down from there and all the way down there, but it doesn't got a hole there, so I really have to do this way, cross there. Down there it also has a tunnel, but really long tunnel, and it just don't help. So the really solution is to use for me, is a wireless keyboard. But if you can, really, a wired keyboard is better for your health. But I currently is using microphone mouse. But if you can, look inside. Here is a wired mouse, which I previously using, which is the Dell wired mouse, and well, that was good, but at least that would be strange. And this mouse is, I felt comfortable. And really, if you have to use 2 wireless devices at once, there's a reason I really choose Logitech, because actually because of that I had a unifying receiver there, which hooks up to 6 devices. I hooked up 3 devices, I think, and that really did really well. And instead of using several receivers which can run at a really great radiation, create really great radiation, you can just pair them up. For me, I use the Logitech unifying tool, which is this one. I've shown you before. Go to Advanced and pair up all the stuff. I currently paired up about 4 devices, and that works, of course. And yeah, that's for the keyboard and mouse part, wired and wireless. So the next thing, the third one, is to use a radiation filter. This is not my monitor. I searched that from the internet, and here is a monitor, and here's a radiation filter. But what a radiation filter does is you cap it in, and radiation goes from the monitor here to the radiation filter and reflects back to the back, right, left, bottom, whatever angles, and protects you from that, because it prevents radiation from getting to the front and just reflects back. And really, for my LED monitor, radiation is not mainly here, the screen, but at the back. So that's we'll move on later, and there's some reason why I don't use radiation filter. Next up is, of course, don't place your electronics really close to you. So there's really where I sit, and I place them there just because I'm doing a demo or whatever else. Filming a video, I don't have a place for that. I put it there. But for most of the time, before I put it there, for most of the time I actually put it there. So that's you know, when electronics are turned on, they already have radiation itself. So I mean, if you turn them on, they will run really close. They will really run in the background, and instead of doing anything else. So that's a point that you should actually care about. Unless you're really using a keyboard or a mouse, which is actually, you have to put them there, then you have no choice. You have to continue watching and see more tips. Next up is, of course, about routers. Everyone uses that, but I use the AirPort Extreme from Apple, which really bad thing about that is you can't switch off wireless. Which actually doesn't help in reducing radiation, except you really unplug that, and this will still run. It can't only run at a wire connection, and the modem, a router is not the worst. Actually, modem is the worst thing that actually generates radiation, and this is an optic fiber modem. It connects to optic fiber, and it generates quite a lot of radiation. I placed my phone into it, next to it, and it was 2,000 milligauss, which is really, really a lot. And so, you know, that's something you need to take care of. So, people that don't have to switch off wireless, the only thing you can do is to turn your network off, or to unplug this stuff, to not allow any energy or electricity to go to the router itself and stop, or maybe most likely to reduce the amount of radiation generated by the device itself. If you really is using a laptop, you can actually always type there, and keep in mind something else. Laptops are not for laps, and to sit on your lap, they produce a radiation that will really affect your health. And you know, as I mentioned before, putting there, it actually has 3,000. That actually increased now. That was 12,000 right now, and you see it, 12,000. Really high radiation if you type in here. On the left row, who doesn't use these keys? No one, right? Really, the tip to actually cancel out that is, you look, can see for a moment. Here is 470, 80, 60, and the only thing you can do to a laptop is to plug in a wired keyboard to a USB port and type here instead of there. And use a mouse, external mouse, instead of a trackpad in order to reduce radiation. So the really last tip to help is really to buy a new computer. You have no choice. If you are using a 10-year-old computer, you're generating much more, double or maybe triple the amount of radiation. So new technologies use newer radiation cancel methods to protect them, except for the MacBook I used. That was way too bad in the amount of radiation it generates. So yeah, I know there's much more tips, but we don't have time to cover them up. So that's pretty much the end of my video. Please like and subscribe. Dislike it if you think this review sucks. This tip, or yeah, it sucks or whatever. Dislike it and post a comment below to tell me what I did wrong, or yeah, you can feel free to make new suggestions in the comments below of how to protect yourself against radiation. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, don't forget that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.